Voting for the next president of the United States is not your only responsibility this election cycle. In fact, it may not even be the most important vote you cast. That's because the balance of power in both the House and the Senate are both up for grabs on November 5th, and the party that controls those chambers will have a huge influence on whether or not the next president is successful. In case you didn't know, all 435 House seats are on the ballot this election. House members serve for 2 years, and as of today, Republicans hold a very slim majority. That means Republicans are in charge of determining who is the Speaker of the House. But because that majority is so slim, and because there are about 24 of these seats that are true toss-ups, it is very possible that the Democrats could flip power of the House of Representatives next year. On the Senate side, there are 34 Senate seats that are up for re-election in 2024. Now, because senators serve for 6 years at a time, they are not always on every ballot every election cycle. And because of the way the cards fall in 2024, more Democrats are on the ballot up for re-election this time than Republicans, which means Republicans have a really good shot at flipping power in the Senate. In particular, there are 8 Senate seats that are up for election that could determine which party controls the Senate. So why does any of that matter? Well, you know all the campaign promises Vice President Harris and former President Trump are currently making? Well, most of what they're talking about cannot be done without the approval of both the House and the Senate. So they can both make all the campaign promises they want, but in the end, if the other party controls Congress, the fact is very little of what they want is going to get accomplished. On top of that, there are huge issues that are coming up in 2025 that the new Congress is going to deal with that will have a direct impact on your everyday life. Issues like whether or not to extend the Trump tax cuts, which are expiring in 2025, how to handle the debt ceiling, which is also going to hit its limit in 2025, what to do about immigration reform, and when it comes to the Senate specifically, whether or not to approve a new Supreme Court justice nominee. Now, most Supreme Court watchers believe if former President Trump is reelected, Justices Thomas or Alito, who are both in their mid-70s, could retire. And if Vice President Harris is elected, some say it's possible Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is in her 70s, may also retire. In either case, if the opposing party controls the Senate, it's going to be very difficult for the new president to get his or her Supreme Court nominee through the confirmation process. If you have more questions about which races you should be following and which ones could determine the balance of power in either the House or the Senate, you can pick up my 2024 election guide. It has so much important information in it. Just follow these easy steps and get your digital download now.